Pray you get comfy in your disguise. Pray for my thoughts on the other side.
Within a year of me discovering an elusive personality on Bandcamp and describing their approach to song structure and beat making by comparing it to animal-shaped chicken nuggets, JPEGMAFIA has since fountained with popularity, becoming a newfound icon of the internet age, or at least somebody who deserves to be. The makeup of Peggy's personality as a rapper has come to be known for embracing the spontaneity, recklessness, grossness of the internet age, and especially the meme culture that's tumored out of it. Not something I want to look at with any real sense of fondness, but it's an inescapable responsibility. I appreciate that Peggy is so closely inspired by the hysteria of now, but by design this cuts the possibilities of his own music short. This is an album that offers cool sounds and Family Guy funny moments, but has no potential to rise beyond that, and offer any formative statement about Peggy or what his mission statement is as an artist. Like, cool, you give me a TLC cover for a laugh, now what? His previous effort Veteran, released at the start of last year, was skeletal, missing pieces from its puzzle, a bit no-wavy, cold, like it was left in the fridge before consumption. It's the kind of thing that asks for a bit of scatterbrained shit talk. It has that cold-blooded stare. On the other hand, I'm a bit miffed by this one. Despite how much more complete a musical chapter it sounds like, Peggy's essentially just talking shit again. It feels substanceless, like Angel Hair Pasta or the Metallica discography. Still, All My Heroes Eat Corn Chips is lush, melodic, oozing with colour to the point of overload. Each track is really just 4 or 5 mini-tracks in disguise, which does make me excited to dig into the secrets it may have to unlock. After all, Grimy Waifu is just a hysterical metaphor for Peggy's relationship with his Kimber, which he has no problem reminding you of several more times. These witty moments make me feel like all of the hubbub that Peggy is yelling about is leading up to something, and then it just doesn't. It just culminates in a flood of more shit talk. The one nuance that I could catch was really subtle, sort of like a deconstruction of toxic masculinity, emphasized by sensitive, warm-blooded singing, his campy gowns, and the decision to open one of the songs with the line, "Young slut from the bottom of the East Coast." This is so subtle I wouldn't blame you if you didn't notice it. It's a theme that hangs in the background and only the background, like these blue rectangles on the screen. The album is aimless, like blindfolded shots from his Kimber. All My Heroes has such gravitational production that really pulls me in with these beautiful melodies and soulful swagger. Moments where Peggy is actually singing, and it sounds good. Peggy disregards the structural integrity of his songs like flimsy apple cores, just leaving you with a sewn together Frankenstein of these musical vignettes that are hyperactive ear candy. I was convinced that this would mean the album lacks any real memorable aspects to it, but during the weeks that I've neglected to write this review, I've come to realize I remember even more vocal lines, melodies, and musical details in this album than I ever expected, and I think in the end that just comes down to Peggy being a fucking idiosyncratic weirdo in the first place. I think it would be a fair injustice to assume he just threw things at the fourth wall to see what stuck. I mean, okay, he probably did, but at least he also had the damn brains to check which experiments sounded any good. Having nice sounds in nice places makes Cornballs very entertaining at the very least, even if drained of any worthwhile substance. It was around the last quarter of the album where I really began to tire out, which is strange given the album isn't even that long, but having been loaded with so much material and now being met with a remix of his freestyle from The Cave, a No Scrubs cover as a ha ha hoo hoo moment, plus another instrumental type beat interlude, it was like I'd already seen the bulk of a movie on DVD, and it was now playing me extra scenes from the special features. Okay, enough of that. Do you want to know what my favourite part of the album is? Free the Frail. Not only a beautiful, wispy sounding song, but also a touching one from the viewpoint of an artist trying hard to meet the expectations of everybody who gives your previous work acclaim. And although it should be clear that it didn't work for dicker-shelled me, it made me empathise with the album in its one real moment of transparent humanity. It sounds like a moment where Peggy has to come to terms with what he's created and is ready to unleash it to the world like a canary out the cage.
Hey, if it's good, then it's good. Break it down, the shit is out of my hands. Whoa.
This would have been an amazing closing track, and yet the album just keeps going. Like, in fairness bro, that decision was in your hands. Peggy's a rather provocative fella, and I think when he stirs up an upset with listeners, he usually has a meaningful mission statement behind it, or at least one that will have you arguing online for another 20 minutes. The point is, when moments like these happen, they're substantial, they're making a bold statement, which is what I was hoping for more of from All My Heroes Are Cornballs, because it convinces me that there's a reason behind the rage. As it stands, this album is instead a nicer, hookier sounding vacuum, unfortunately full of things I've already come to expect to hear from him. Yes, maybe its vulgarity and vapidity makes it very in touch with the spirit of the internet, but the spirit of the internet isn't something I often look at and think, fuck, I'm frothing at the mouth for more of that. 6 out of 10.